Toverland is a beautiful theme park in the Netherlands that has grown so much so fast. They have a small but effective collection of 5 roller coasters and many other rides worth experiencing. When I visited this park for the first time in the summer, I was able to ride each of their 5 coasters and 2 non-coaster attractions. From what I can tell, the only really notable ride that I did not get to check out is Maximus Blitzbahn. If you ask any local, they'll tell you to ride this first or not at all. It routinely has the park's longest wait time because its capacity is terrible. But essentially, it's a steel bobsled attraction that is entirely powered by electricity. It looks like so much fun, and I'm sure it would have found its way into Toverland's top 5 or so attractions. That said, I rode enough other quality attractions at this park that it's absolutely deserving of a ranking video. So without further ado, these are the top 7 rides I experienced at Toverland. Starting off this list at number 7 is Two's Express. Now, despite this being the park's smallest roller coaster and the ever so common Vekoma Jr. model, this thing packs a punch. It's the only roller coaster in the park located in their indoor section, and it takes full advantage of its environment. You'll see it gliding through these high overbank turns and whizzing right by at speeds of 37 miles per hour. That, along with its max height of 40 feet, are pretty impressive stats for a junior coaster. Even as a teenager, Two's Express was a very entertaining attraction and more than just another coaster credit. Number 6, Booster Bike. What an interesting ride, because this launch coaster is one of 4 Vekoma motorbikes ever built. Likewise, this was the first of its kind I had ever experienced, and to be honest, I can sort of understand why it wasn't very successful. It's not like it was rough, and actually for an older Vekoma, Booster Bike was quite smooth. But in my opinion, the ride has 2 faults. First, the layout, which is rather uninspired and mainly consists of a couple helixes and airtime hills that get very little airtime. 2, there's much better motorbike coasters out there on the market, like what Intamin has been doing with their incredibly fantastic layouts. I'd even say Zero has done a better job with rides like Pony Express at Knott's Berry Farm. Booster Bike's launch is fun, I'll give it that, but none of the other elements did a whole lot for me, and the ride was on one train, so we unfortunately had to wait about an hour for it. Everything else in the park had a 10-minute wait or less, so we weren't really expecting it. Our first non-coaster attraction takes the number 5 spot, and that's Merlin's Quest. I actually feel bad for putting this ride so low because it is by far the best ride of its kind that I've ever seen at a theme park. You know these slow-moving boat rides whose only purpose is observation? Well, in Merlin's Quest, the ride starts off that way, but then makes its way into a cave with some incredibly world-class theming. The lighting, the visuals, the color, and the atmospheric music made this entire scene absolutely phenomenal. I had no idea about it either. I only rode this attraction because a local had recommended it. I didn't expect Merlin's Quest to be part dark ride, but what a cool experience. I'd highly encourage you to do it. Number 4 is Expedition Zork. This might possibly be one of the best log flumes I've experienced. It starts in the park's indoor section before making its way outdoors, and the way it's split evenly between the different settings is great. The first drop may look conventional from off-ride, but right before it, you actually have a turntable section that points you backwards. In Europe, backwards log flumes are extremely common, so I already went in expecting this, but if you didn't know beforehand like my brother Sean, you'd likely be freaking out. Then on the lift hill heading outdoors, there's another turntable, and this time it's slanted so you feel like you're sideways as you're turning around on this thing. At the top, you have your big drop, which Toverland has incorporated into this giant tree trunk. Expedition Zork certainly isn't the longest log flume I've experienced, but it's a really great example of a high-quality European flume ride. Breaking the top 3 is Dwarve Wind. This modern mock ride spinning coaster is a fairly unique model, but quite memorable for me as I just ridden Turbulence at Adventureland a few months prior as well. Both of these coasters have so much in common, and they remind me that these are some of the best family coasters in the world. You may want to avoid them if spinning isn't your kind of thing, but combining that with the genuinely dynamic and zippy layout is awesome. Not to mention, these are glass smooth and so re-rideable. I only got to experience Dwarve Wind once, but if I had more time in the park, I definitely would have ridden it again and again. Coming in at number 2 is Phoenix. This is Toverland's largest single investment to date, clocking it at 17 million euros. This is Europe's most recent wing coaster installation, and in my opinion, it's the best. Though Phoenix may not be the longest B&M wing coaster, I can't think of any other complaint. The theming is incredible, the color scheme and integration into the Avalon section of the park is beautiful, and the layout generally stays low to the ground. The choice of elements and the sheer pacing of Phoenix makes it an excellent coaster, in addition to all of its other facets. I wouldn't blame anyone for ranking this at number 1 because it was actually really close for me. But I did ultimately decide to give the edge to the park's GCI wooden coaster Troy. This ride may not be as themed as Toverland's other rides, but it really doesn't need it. The layout stands on its own. Troy is one of the largest wooden roller coasters in Europe, and I don't know if this is just me, but it felt like one of the longer GCIs. In a way, I do prefer the shorter and more back-to-back-to-back GCIs like Vote on Timber Coaster at Europa Park, but still, Troy is undeniably a fantastic ride. You've got great elements, great pacing, and great power. The only thing that could have made it better for me was that I didn't think it was as smooth as most GCIs. This doesn't really push it down in my rankings, but a smoother ride experience could have bolstered it above many other Woodies I've ridden. If you ride it in the front though, it's not as much of an issue, and that's actually my preferred seat anyways. So let me know in the comments if you agree with my list or how you'd change up the order. Also, if you have ridden Maximus Blitzbahn, let me know where in the park that would have ranked. I'm sure a day will come when I return to this park, especially with all the investment they've been seeing, so when the time comes, I'll be sure to make that a priority. For the time being, being, thank you all so much for watching my Toverland ranking video, and stay tuned for more videos like it in the